This week, Amazon and Walmart both holding their annual shareholders meetings, outlining accomplishments of the year and goals ahead. This is competition between the two companies heats up. Amazon has dominated the e-commerce market, but Walmart has been making aggressive moves to catch up. Most recently with the purchase of a 77% stake in India's Flipkart for $16 billion. For more, we're joined by Guru Hariharan here in San Francisco. He's a former executive at Amazon working on retail merchandising and supply chain. Now he's the CEO of Boomerang Commerce, a tech platform that works with e-retailers. So what's your assessment of Amazon versus Walmart over the last year?
If you look at India, let's start over there. You mentioned Flipkart acquisition. It's the biggest or one of the biggest acquisitions that the tech industry has seen in the recent past. And there's a reason to that, which is Flipkart's the only company in the world that has been able to keep Amazon at bay and still is the number one player in a large economy like India. Because I'm leaving China alone because they are not so much of an open economy. And so with Walmart acquiring Flipkart, they're not just acquiring a majority stake in a big e-commerce play and a retail play, but they're in fact acquiring the DNA on how to succeed against Amazon.
So how big a loss is it for Amazon not to have that foothold in India?
Well, so it's not that they don't have the foothold. They're massively growing. Amazon's come out, in fact, publicly stating that they are, in many cases, even bigger than Walmart in some metrics. Growth has been phenomenal for both companies. A lot of it is because of the market dynamics of e-commerce growing in India, but Amazon's making a major push. They're very localized in their presence over there. They're making a big push with respect to marketplaces and really giving very local advertising and marketing for attracting the consumers in India.
So how does this set Amazon versus Walmart up for sort of global e-commerce war? You know, where is Amazon winning? Where is Amazon losing? And same for Walmart.
Well, the battlefront has become e-commerce, right? It's going back to how Walmart, in fact, dropped the word stores from their name, and now it's Walmart Inc. and not Walmart Stores Inc. Really, the battlefront has now become e-commerce, and it is being won through technology. And Walmart's going through a pretty massive DNA change, if you look at it. They're acquiring companies like Jet.com and Flipkart.com, or even recently Bonobos. And with that, they're putting foundations for how to fight with companies like Amazon in the future through a DNA change, which is going to look very, very messy over the next decade or so. But that's the way that they're going to go to the battlefront. And of course, Amazon's coming from a traditional angle of going with technology first, with consumer first, and they don't have to do a DNA change. That is their DNA to go out and win with these on the heels of technology.
Amazon's continuing to wage a war on prices, across the board. Can Walmart keep up?
It's going to be very hard for Walmart to keep up with that. And Walmart will have to shell a lot of money, just like what they did. $14 billion is a lot. And think about the price reduction, the price wars that are happening. And of course, with Amazon hitting 100 million Prime subscribers, that's literally $12 billion in free cash flow that's coming into Amazon every single year. And leave alone the high gross margin AWS business that Amazon has. They take all those profits and are investing back into growing their marketplace. And also the 3P penetration, the third-party seller penetration, is very, very high on Amazon, which is again a very high gross margin business as opposed to the traditional first-party business. And this is just going to make Amazon a lot more powerful in their ability to offer great prices, excellent service back to customers, and win on the heels of Prime. And Walmart is going to have a very big struggle to fight against that.
Right. Amazon adding new deals all the time to Prime. Now it's free 2-hour delivery from Whole Foods, a subscription from the Washington Post. How can Walmart fight the weapon that is Amazon Prime?
Well, ironically, one weapon that they could fight, and Walmart especially is known for this, is to go back to brand manufacturers, to their vendors. If you think about how Walmart has been succeeding in the past, they have optimized a lot on their supply chain and vendor negotiations and so on. They can, and that's what we are seeing that both of these companies are doing for subsidizing these price wars that are happening. They're going back to their supply chain. They're going back to their vendors. Publicly traded companies like Unilever and Kellogg's, they are starting to see a huge amount of pressure coming back because they are now starting to fund those price wars in a lot of sense. So it is going to be, this war is not just going to be limited to these two companies. It's going to have a very big cascading effect to brand manufacturers, and for them to now survive and succeed in the age of less profitability.
What is Amazon's Achilles heel?
Right now, it would be, well, leave alone China. They haven't been able to break into China. They still haven't figured out brick and mortar. Majority of sales are still in brick and mortar. Grocery is still in brick and mortar. And grocery, I would say, is a very important market that they need to break into. They have had tens of experiments, from fresh to prime now to now with Whole Foods and Go. They currently have about 5 to 6 experiments going on in grocery. That has always been so far a Achilles heel for Amazon. And it's a very important market to get into. It's an $800 billion market in the US, and that's something which every consumer is buying every week, every day. And if they don't break into the grocery market, it's going to be very hard for them to sustain the moat.
Jeff Bezos talked about the threat of more scrutiny. He said all good companies should invite scrutiny, which sounds very nice. But how big a risk do you think antitrust scrutiny is on Amazon?
At this point, I think anything with Amazon starts to make news these days. They are starting to achieve escape velocity. And right now, especially if you look at Amazon, their growth, they're investing a lot in third-party businesses, which sort of puts lesser of the monopolistic view on. It's becoming a marketplace, much like eBay. More than 50% of their revenue or GMV on Amazon is coming from third-party businesses. So they are moving into a direction where it doesn't look too much monopolistic from a first-party standpoint. It's looking more like a marketplace. And marketplaces are free. They are free for competition.
So you say Walmart's journey to change its DNA is going to take 10 years. In 10 years, how is the e-commerce landscape going to be different?
It's going to be a very fierce battlefront. First of all, it's just going one way, and it's going north, which is the prices are going to go down. Availability is going to become very, very good. 2-hour deliveries are going to become 1-hour deliveries and drone deliveries. The selection is going to be much, much better. You're going to find a lot of these things, anything that you're looking for, and their substitutes very easily searchable on Amazon and on Walmart.com. The deliveries are going to be much faster. So the battlefront and the bar is going to be much, much higher for not just Walmart, but for any company, any retailer to succeed. And they have to succeed on the e-commerce battlefront. It is not an option. It is a requirement to survive in the future of retail, to be successful on e-commerce.
So if you could pick one, Amazon or Walmart, in 10 years, which one would you pick?
To me, right now, I would bet on Amazon, given that they already have the DNA. Any company that's going through a DNA change it's never guaranteed.